Hey, I'm Morgan.
Hi, Morgan. Thanks so much for being here today.
Of course. Good to see you. Thank you.
Sit down. You're watching EW Lightbulb, presented by Glade. Well, you know, one thing that I do want to ask you is, you know, just to kind of just begin with like the grandest possible topic possible. You know, Super Size Me. I kind of feel like looking back, it really came out at a really fascinating time for documentaries. It felt like that was a time when, I mean, suddenly they got very popular.
That's
you
right.
know, like you know, stuff like what
March
Michael
of the
Moore
Penguins
was doing.
came out like
March
right
of the
after
Penguins,
that,
of course.
yeah.
Who were your kind of like influences, both when you were kind of starting out, and then later, you know, your kind of inspirations now,
Sure.
you know, things you kind of discovered more recently.
You know, when I saw Star Wars, it changed my life. You know, that movie, David Cronenberg's movie Scanners, where he made that guy's head explode. Like when that happened, that was the moment in movies that made me want to make movies. Like I wanted to be a makeup special effects artist for years. Like I wanted to be Rick Baker. I wanted to be Tom Savini. But then once I learned you could actually go to film school and learn how to make movies, I said, oh, that's the path I'm going to go down. I got turned on to documentaries when I got to NYU, when I went to film school there, and then through my 20s started making, you know, short docs. It just kind of ignited something in me and a different passion to basically see that you could make something that could also have an impact, that you could have, you know, different cultural significance and can change people's views and their outlook on the world. And I just found that to be really invigorating.
You're dealing with facts, you know.
A lot of people will say, my facts. That's what oh, Spurlock and his facts. That guy.
You did seem to gain quite a bit of weight, though. I mean, that seemed to be something that no one could really argue with. To me, it seems like there's a real kind of energetic quality to your work, and in a way that I think has actually been very influential to kind of how documentaries have evolved in the last 10 years. How do you kind of decide what the tone of something is going to be, when it's going to be academic or when it's going to be humorous?
Yeah, I mean, well, most of what I make, 90% of what I do is humorous, and I think that there's an expectation once you start making certain films of what your films are going to be like. But how you get there, you know, hopefully has a tremendous amount of excitement and fun, and for me, those are core elements of everything we make. I mean, we have a mantra at my company, which is if you can make someone laugh, you can make someone listen. And you know, humor I find to be an incredible tool to basically break a lot of barriers, to have walls come down and really engage people, and not only a conversation they want to be a part of, but up to a point where they'll actually retain information.
I imagine you go in thinking you kind of know the story you're going to tell. Are there times when midway through you're just like, actually, this is completely different?
I had somebody give me some great advice back when I made Super Size Me, a fellow filmmaker friend of mine, and he said, if the movie you end up with is the exact same movie you envisioned in the beginning, then you didn't listen to anybody along the way. And I think that's kind of the outlook that we have for everything we make. You know, we go in, we have an idea, we kind of spin the top and see where it goes. And one door will close, but another one will open and take you in 3 different directions. And that's the exciting part of it.
You kind of mentioned, of course, Super Size Me comes out, you know, has a kind of really tremendous reaction, gets an Oscar nomination, which had to feel awesome.
Yeah.
Then a few years later, Osama bin Laden comes out, reaction is sort of different.
Yeah.
What for you is sort of more kind of energizing?
Yes, listen, I think that, you know, you could sit around and pat each other on the back all day long. It's like
We could do that, actually.
You could, yeah, you could. But I mean, for me, it's like I enjoy criticism. And believe me, I get a lot of it. It's fine. You know, I got thick skin. I can take it. You know, so many people threw Where in the World's Osama bin Laden under the bus when that movie came out. Like, just eviscerated that film. But it's one of those where it's like, I'm proud of that. I was proud of that movie then. I'm still proud of that movie today. No, I mean, for me, it's like, it's all about forward progress. Like, I don't look at things that I made as mistakes. Any things that, you know, we could have done better at the time, I think are lessons. I was on a panel with Ken Burns and Al Maisels, who, you know, is the godfather of documentary films. We're in the middle of this panel. Somebody asked a question about Super Size Me, and Al Maisels goes, "Super Size Me isn't a documentary." And I said, and they said, well, what do you think, Morgan? I said, well, I beg to differ. I said, years ago, people said, you know, Thin Blue Line wasn't a documentary, and are you going to say that's not a movie today? It's a brilliant movie. But I think you can learn much more from criticism than you can from successes.
Very often, it sort of seems as if you're juggling multiple projects at once. Is that sort of like, do you kind of like that?
That's
do you like be a sprinkler head and be pointing in various directions all the time?
Yeah, it's like I get to come in and kind of like, you know, be like the Tasmanian devil and stir things up, and then I leave and everybody has to fix it. Yeah, you know.
That's the creative process.
That's the creative process. Yeah. And but no, it's like I don't know what I would do if I was only doing like one thing every single day.
So what's kind of like next up for you right now? Like,
well, we just launched this great series called We the Economy, which is awesome. And this is it's a film series where we did 20 short films all about the economy. The cool thing about it was we'll get, you know, A-list directors to make these movies that deal with like the Fed or, you know, taxation, you know, explaining how it works, because I think we are economically illiterate in America. Right. And what I love is that we've kind of just smashed the whole idea of what distribution can be. And one of the biggest reasons we were able to do that, the best part is because one, we didn't need a return on investment. Like, we basically made these to give for free. So we're giving the movies away all over the globe for nothing.
So you're making
not economically sound.
So essentially, you're making a communist movie about capitalism.
That's exactly
is what this sounds like.
That's exactly. Take it. I wouldn't make the movie you would watch.
I sort of worry that we're being kind of too lighthearted here, so let's get heavy for a second.
Altruism.
Yes. No, as far as like the future of documentaries,
I think that the possibilities are so exciting now. Like the places where you can make movies, the number of places that will buy movies, the number of places where you can tell nonfiction stories. You know, it just continues to grow and grow and grow, and it is because of places like HBO. It's because of places like Netflix. The idea of having instant access to these movies is huge. I mean, it's a game changer. And for a filmmaker and for a doc filmmaker to now suddenly know you're gonna be able to make something that can find an audience quickly, where you're not going to have to fight for screen time, you're not going to have to fight for one of those precious, screens at Angelica or Sunshine, that automatically it's going to get out and people are going to see it. I mean, it's awesome. Mm-hmm. And we're platform agnostic. I mean, I want to make stuff for where there's an audience. I mean, I think that it's a great time to be a storyteller.
Watch all of EW Lightbulb, presented by Glade.